Hello. Hi everyone. How is everyone doing today? Hello. Sorry for taking a while. I decided to lie on bed for a bit, and then my cat just got on top of me, and that was it, man. It was over. But now we're here. And yeah, we're late, so we're gonna get straight into the game as soon as I open it. Cat understandable, yeah. It's like, it lied on me and got comfortable, and at that point, what can you do? Nothing. Just resign yourself to your fate. All right. Six isn't enough. That's crazy. Speaking of cats, Kalinian is here. I got free from the cat, yes. It was food time, so I just went, like, I asked her, like, are you hungry? And she immediately meows and goes to the kitchen. But all right. Let me quickly do the auto farming. And we'll get there. Am I ready to finish this and then get hit by a major? Not really, but we push through. We endure. We endure. Claim all. Alrighty. We should be good to go. All right. Let's go. I got no time to lose. I took too long, so I still gotta do some chores, so I'm hoping to finish this relatively quick. Relatively, I say, because, you know, it's still long, probably. Most likely. So let's go, let's go! Oh no. I'm missing out on that. Oh well. Alrighty. Alrighty, let's go. Last 3 notes. Let me get some water with a bit of juice. Some coffee. I almost had some coffee, but then I was like, I'm really gonna need water to read all this, so... Let us proceed. Rebirth. The old world shall collapse, and everything will happen again. Oh hey, it's that fuck us door again. I don't know where I am, but it appears that I am no longer inside the red zone. If this really is Peridia's doing, then her power is way more awe-inspiring than what Therian dolls can do. I feel as though all things lie prostrated beneath my feet, while I myself rise endlessly upward until I reach the highest point of it all. Not far ahead of me is the figure of a child, facing away from me. A child?! Helena? Or... Melanie? I try to run toward her, but someone behind me holds me back. Neither, actually. Peridia? You... Peridia smiles and shakes her head. Commander, the we that exists right now cannot yet save her. Cannot save her? You mean to say that she's age 35? Peridia's unnatural understanding of the situation leaves me speechless. Peridia, how do you know about age 35? Perhaps I overheard your conversation with Melanie. Is that so? Wait, but back then... Commander, we are short on time. Let's focus on the problem in front of us, shall we? You're right. I forced my curiosity down. She's here to help, after all. And by now, I am well aware that the miracle she created is by no means easily replicable. I trust you've already worked out how Bujims are formed. Have you? They're a new product of Paradeus' experiments. It's not the full picture. Bujims were born through Paradeus' modifications. They're another partial form of an organism. As for the Helenas, they control them through a connection no one fully understands. The one we face now has grown extra powerful thanks to the special energy provided by H35. A special energy? Could it be... I believe you already made the correct hypothesis. Yes, it's power from that other side. So Paradeus truly did truth farther than ever before. No wonder that woman we met seemed so confident. Indeed. Door evil cat homophobic hotel Trivago.
She isn't merely the inventor of Therian dolls. She is also the architect of the whole Bujum biological system, and the teacher who created the Olenas. The energy that gives rise to the pulses, the sacrifice, the medium that bears nirvana, the grail, and the anchor point that activates the relics, the key. So Bujums are a medium that may bear nirvana. It's actually the reverse, but Bujums are indeed one of the very few things that can actually form a connection with nirvana and mutually affect each other. Because of its inherently illogical nature, Bujum cells cannot be killed by human hands unless completely destroyed physically. But an exception exists within nirvana. And the only way to save Sextans is to sever the umbilical cord connecting the anchor point to the medium. Right now, that girl is preparing to cut the umbilical cord that feeds the Bujum. It's unfortunate, but this is the only way to save Sextans. Then what happens to age 35? You told me earlier that we can't save her. Are you sure our only choice is to abandon her? There must be another way. If I am not the one here, perhaps there will be. Unfortunately, this is all I can do with my power. In fact, I'm afraid I won't be able to pull off something like this again for a long time. However, if you can wound that Bujum severely enough, it will fall into a state of weakness. That way, it won't be able to harm the girl any further. That is a form of rescue too. Is that something you can accept? Can't we just kill it outright? That's almost impossible. This one is simply too large, and the combat strength we possess is simply not grand enough to physically destroy it. That is why the girl wants to cut the umbilical cord. Sextans will be separated from the Bujum once that happens. Then we'll only need to rescue her, just like what we did before. I still have enough power to protect you from being eroded by the Bujum cells. Please act quickly once we leave this place. Commander, I'm leaving this in your hands. After Preja finishes her sentence, I think for a moment, finally realizing what the doll has been telling me. Wait, Preja. Did you get all this intel from StateSec?
Ah yes, StateSec.
No. You didn't. You... Who exactly are you? Commander, I'm nothing more than an ordinary doll. I do carry within me a certain particular yearning. Yet in the end, I still cannot understand her will. But at least, this wisp of power that remains can help you escape your present plight, and ensure that the girl won't have any more of her life force drawn out by that Bujum. I never understood why she chose me, but perhaps she did so for this very moment. Commander, you are a woman beloved and longed after by God, you know? Now then, let's begin.
Okay then. They can't put this song.
The scene before me gradually grows clearer. Beside me, Preja smiles as she takes my hand. A warm power flows through my palm. The Bujum cells stop trying to erode me the very next moment. All the wildly thrashing tentacles freeze in midair. Even the eyeballs freeze motionless. I can tell that this Bujum, which was bearing its fangs at Preja and me not long ago, had developed an emotion it should not possess toward us. Fear. I scrambled to my feet under the tactical knife in my belt. The blade, which once gleamed silver, has somehow taken on a tinge of deep blue.
Cover me!
Beneath the dense drumming of gunfire, Rita and I moved past the tentacles riding frantically to avoid us, until we stand beneath the Bujum's enormous body. The tentacle-tipped eyeballs no longer stare down at me. They squint and narrow, riding up a frenzy alongside the tentacles they're attached to.
Commander, do it now! Damn it. Let's end this!
I raise my knife high and plunge it into the Bujum. A sense of resistance grits the blade. Feels like I'm cutting through thick rubber. I throw all my strength into the hilt and pull it downward. My voice and the Bujum's low, muffled shrieks mix together, echoing through the castle's basement. The blade tears downward, ripping through the Bujum's skin to create a horrifying crimson wound. Unlike a normal cut, it seems seared by a fierce blue flame, immediately filling the air with the nauseating stench of scorched flesh. The Bujum's enormous body suddenly curls into a ball, twisting and convulsing. From somewhere within it, a sharp, scraping sound arises, like a styrofoam being rubbed together. They slump to the ground right after, like wet mud. The blood-red color drains from the tentacle's tips, fading into lifeless grayish-white. The eyeballs roll across the floor, swiftly burning away into a wisp of empty ash.
Sextans.
Sexton's eyes are tightly shut. Perhaps the umbilical cord was severed. Her body is no longer attached to Bujum tissue, sliding out of it like an innocent newborn.
We have to retreat.
I hoist Sextans up with the last of my strength. Good thing she's much lighter than usual, with most of her limbs heavily damaged. Rita supports my stumbling form as we run toward the lab exit. When I turn around, the tentacles begin to gather and lunge at us in a frenzy. I can almost feel its cold knuckles dripping onto the top of my head.
Commander, look!
I immediately duck to the side. A grenade grazes past my scalp, exploding less than 10 meters behind me. With a boom, a splash of mucus sprays into the back of my head. Makes me glad that I'm still wearing the protective suit.
Commander, go left!
Kluke's voice comes through. Perita and I immediately turn. The sound of an electrical short circuit is heard. Right after, I sense an ominous movement in the ceiling above.
Faster! Consider for a moment that I'm human. You aren't that weak.
I want to throw back a retort, but still, I pour every last ounce of strength I can muster into picking up my pace. I'm truly glad that I did so the very next moment. Because of the electrical short, a heavy metal panel comes crashing down, pinning the chasing tentacles that had been the closest to me.
Almost there. Mestina, get the commander.
Alba provides covering fire as Mestina rushes to us. With both hands, she pulls Perita and me onto the steps. The door that was torn up can no longer be closed. All we can do is keep running toward the hall's exit. Team Grossa, having brought Melanie to the safe exit point long ago, immediately moves to meet us when they see us approach.
I'm sorry, Melanie. I couldn't save that girl.
No, Commander.
I sense her feelings. She told me that she thanks you and looks forward to the future where... Commander, get over here!
Grossa stands guard at the door, her hand already on the lever beside the hall's main doors. The instant we step into the hall's vestibule, she pulls the brass lever. The steel door slowly descends. After some splattering sounds by tentacles slamming against the door, our surroundings finally return to a peaceful silence. been a while since I had to sprint while carrying weight. Whoa, Chloe was just like a drilling structure at school. I lowered Sexton's down to sit next to her, gasping for breath. Her eyes were tightly closed. She let out pain moans, seemingly still unconscious. Commander, there's a tear in your protective suit. Please let me help you do some emergency repairs. Alright. I no longer have the strength to move. I slump into place and let Alba tend to me. She takes out repair tape and seals a breach in the protective suit. We're still in enemy territory. There's no telling what could happen. We need to leave as quickly as possible. Commander, if you find it hard to move right now, I can carry you. No, it's fine. If you can, could you carry Sextans instead? Commander, don't mind me. Destroy me. Run. Hurry. I'm about to hand Sextans over to Wing Mastina when her eyes suddenly open. She looks at me with despair. There's another one. Inside me. It's my curse. I don't know why it's quiet now. But this is your only chance. Hurry. Please. Leave me. You already been saved, Sextans. Thanks to Peretia and H35, that thing will no longer trouble you. Now we can finally go home. Let's go back to the Elmo. Home? The Elmo. Do I still have a place like that? That's right. If Ataraxis says this place is her home, then the Elmo is your home. I nod to Mastina, signaling for her to help. Mastina dips her head silently, then hoists Sextans onto her shoulder. Her concern is well-founded. We can't afford to linger here any longer. We're not only facing the threat of an enemy attack. My body, too, seems to have reached its limits. There are still so many mysteries to be solved, and so many questions I want to ask. But the thinking will have to wait until we get out of this place. Alright, everyone. Quickly check your gear, then we'll move out at once. I don't like that. Beneath the moonlight, light footsteps approach from afar. The dolls and I stop organizing our equipment, then turn our gazes toward the end of the corridor. What the fuck are you doing here? It's Dartor.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, and we're fighting here. Alright. Sure. Lament. The tragedies will eventually end, but no sacrifice should be taken for granted.
The girl's parasol blocks the moonlight pouring down, shrouding her in a flower-like shadow. She lowers her gaze at Sextans, currently draped over Mastina's shoulder. Her lips form a cruel smile. Is this how you celebrate your rebirth? Sextans?
Truly a gothic event. Yeah, we're in like an old-ass castle slash cathedral place, and there's Sextans, there's Dartur. Yeah, I think we saw her Dartur in Deep Oblivion.
Dartur. How unsightly. To think you were placed ahead of the rest of us, favored by Mother, that became such an ungrateful thing. Unless she followed her own will, making a choice that was truly hers. Whereas you, Dartur, are still nothing more than a puppet, dancing to someone else's will. A puppet? You can't defy your mother's commands, so your only choice is to rush here and clean up the mess. No? Commander, you always imagine things to be simpler than it truly is. I came here not because I was bound by anyone's command. Mother never issues any forced orders to us either. We are always loved, always cherished by Mother. And this extends to even that thing. Sextants. That was exactly why you had the chance to escape with your lives. Carry that thing with you. But I am different. I hate traitors. How can you betray Mother? Why would you think I'll let you go after you betrayed our creator? She lifts her eyes away from Sexton's face. Alright, enough idle talk. I'm guessing you have no intention of handing Sextons over to me. People like you always come charging in talking about the power of friendship and bonds and whatever on your lips. What a pity, really. Time to bury the rest of you with her.
Oh, that was faster than expected. Hey, Arthur, it's been a while. They're stronger than before. Why are you they-theming Dartur? Is Dartur a they-them? Dartur, did you transition when we weren't looking? Congratulations. Now I'm gonna kill you.
Miss Grossa. I shall call you that for now. Your courage in facing me after going through all that is quite admirable. In truth, after spending some time with you, I'm starting to like that personality of yours.
Congrats, we're still gonna kill your ass. She thinks she can just avenge her mother and transition. Using them because they carry the hatred of many. That's true, that's real.
Which is why I do not enjoy what I will have to do to you next. However, I was thinking, would ending you right here mean that you won't have to face the suffering to come? What madness are you spewing?
Ah yes, a timeless Gears Frontline classic.
She's trying to distract us. Be careful, everyone. Which of these do you think is the truth? Between the image in the light and the invisible true nature in the dark? OTS 14?
Oh hey, Sextons. That would be so funny. I'm guessing they were just translating and didn't bother to check who they were talking about at the time. But like, either way, it's funny. Alright. Off with you. I forgot she screamed like that.
Masina, she's heading your way.
With a light turn of Dartu's wrist, the parasol's canopy manages to block the bullet's fire at her back. The bullets, powerful enough to punch through steel, roar like a gunpowder hitting ground upon meeting the parasol, then slide off limply, making clinking sounds on the floor. She bends down, slightly on the other side of the parasol. Then she leaps from a crouching position. And yeah, her scream is very good. Like, the voice actors gave it her all. But Mastina opens fire without the slightest hesitation, aiming to drive Darcer back with overwhelming firepower. Her parasol is both the sturdiest shield and the sharpest spear. But if she can't break through or suppressing gunfire, her hands won't be free enough to attack.
Team Grossa, support by Mastina.
The double gunfire roars through the whole room. But when the smoke clears, we find that Dartur had already arrived right in front of Mastina.
How?
The parasol had folded shut at some point, now transforming into a black assault rifle. Dartur makes no move to evade. She takes every bullet Mastina fires head-on, riddling her frame with horrifying bullet holes. But the muzzle of her weapon had long since been trained on sextants.
No!
A single gunshot rings out softly, jarring sharp in the lull between bursts of gunfire.
Dartur, you... No one can betray Mother. No one! I won't allow it. Not even you, Sextans.
Sextant completely loses consciousness. The bullet has bored straight through her chest, leaving a black hole dripping with blood.
Have you gone mad, Dartur? What good does this to you? Good? I don't know either. Come to think of it, it's true. There really isn't any. But still, I can't help myself. Anyone who looks down on Mother cannot be forgiven. It's simply how I think. So, what about you, Commander? You went against Mother. What good does that do you? Going against us, getting yourself thrown into something neither dead nor alive by the radiation. What good does that do you?
She's nothing more than one more individual who chose to align with evil. I look toward Dartur. When our gazes meet, I struggle to see a trace of understanding in those hate-filled eyes.
See? Your fixation with your sense of justice has carried you all the way here. So, never underestimate the power of obsession.
Prepare to embrace your destruction with your blind obsession. You and that Mother you keep speaking of. Prepare yourselves. I will erase every last one of you Paradeus freaks.
Oh my, how scary. I'm so scared. What a pity though. You won't be able to do it, Commander. And as for why, that's because Mother is a great existence who has seen through fate itself.
Dartur falls backward into the crack that has split open at the center of the floor. A violent quake erupts in the reception room,
even more intense than the one during our arrival. Commander, grab my hand! Grasa supports me to prevent me from slipping on the increasingly tilted floor. The ash-grey hair Paradeus dolls swarm in from everywhere once again, in double the numbers we encountered before. They chant some kind of incantation in unison, like a final morning prayer before the break of dawn. Commander, we've lost control of the electronic systems. Every exit in the building is closing. Looks like some kind of emergency mode has been triggered. Everyone, the route you just received on your terminals is the only one with any chance of escape. Got it. Alva, confirm the escape route. Grossa, let's work together to hold up the dolls behind us. Received. On the roadmap Cloquet Sand, the castle's main doors have long been sealed. Our only way out is through the other side of the reception room, across the outer courtyard, and on the spiral staircase of a tower on one side of the castle. Up ahead, Alba and Peritia clear the obstacles in our path, while Boimastina kicks open the locked iron door, allowing us to swiftly escape the cramped reception room and arrive upon the open ground of the outer courtyard. Though Team Grossa fights desperately to hold the line behind us, the Paradeus dolls remain in relentless pursuit. Did I take a screenshot of this? I don't remember. The intense killing intent radiating from their expressionless faces makes it nearly impossible to link them to Nemesis, who shares their appearance. Those Paradeus dolls, where on earth did they even come from? If we make it back, I'll ask Nemesis again, and see if she remembers anything. We will definitely make it back. The gunshots from my pistol drown out my pounding heartbeat. One of the bullets pierces through a head. The already battered Paradeus doll falls backward, falling over the wall behind us with a drop more than a dozen meters high. Commander! Over here! The two dolls standing guard at the tower are unable to withstand Defi's onslaught. They are quickly rendered incapable of combat. Commander, hurry! The gate on this side is about to close too. There's 1 minute left. Don't get bogged down fighting them. Get into the tower first. The gate's about to close. After confirming that the interior is safe, I set Melanie down on the steps and squirm inside myself. Okay. I was like, that's a weird phrase. The tower's spiral staircase is narrow and steep. They are thick with the cold smell of aged dust and stone. The surrounding walls are thick and solid. They are part of the building's fortifications, after all. Though maintenance is long overdue for the stone steps underfoot, they can still bear everyone's weight. A small bits of stone occasionally roll down the steps as we step on them, falling all the way into the depths of the tower. The steps here are somewhat slippery, everyone. Be careful. Ah! Melanie! Colma tries to grab Melanie, but her outstretched hands grasp only empty air. Melanie tumbles down alongside the crushed bits of stone she stepped on. Damn it. Melanie! But I fear did not happen, and Doris' reassuring voice comes through the comms. Commander, I caught Melanie. Thank goodness. And Doris, get Melanie to a safe place first. Understood. But... wait. That's... oh no. Doris, get out of there, quickly!
What's going on?
The sound of falling, crashing metal comes from beneath our feet. And Doris, Melanie! What happened? Are you two alright? Commander, Melanie and I are both fine. But our force hacking triggered the security mechanisms here, causing the wiring to lock down completely. We can't unlock it unless we have a key, or permissions to disengage the lockdown. Hacking will take time. What's more, that mechanism also set off a small explosion at the gate near the bottom of the tower. That gate is now blocked by rubble. Does that mean we can't even activate our explosives? I'm afraid so. The tower, one of the defensive fortifications of this ancient structure, has only 2 entrances, one above, one below, plus the narrow windows on the walls, but those are so small that only a single hand can fit through them. Since the lower exit is now sealed off, we are all trapped inside the solidly built tower. Damn it. We just have to clear the rubble by hand. Commander, hold on. I'll get those stones clear ASAP. The situation has grown so dire that there is no room even for silence. So, someone must step forward in the next moment. Only then can the script get moving forward. We all already know the ending of the story, but the journey is woven through real sacrifice, blood and tears. A shell cannot drop a heartbeat. Sharp shards, mirror dreams, memory. Nemesis! Nemesis, don't! You bastard! What are you doing? Let go! Abolesco. After Nemesis shoves Krolik, the last one still tied with her into the tower, the door slams shut with a bang. Our demolition setup, which has gone dark due to the security lockdown, comes back online. I don't know how things turn out this way. Or rather, there are still so many questions I want to ask. But all that answers me is the overwhelming tremor and the deafening sound of the explosion. Did Nemesis just pull an AR-15? Did she just do that? Holding fast and breaking faith both require courage. In Gears Frontline, when things are tough, pull a AR-15. A timeless Gears Frontline classic. How you shove anybody anywhere through a blocked door? The blocked door was the one. The door down. They were up. AR-15 sent her regards. Oh hey, all sectants. If the problem is still there, just having enough high explosives. AR-15 probably. Empty shadow. At the very edge of your vision, her hollow form appears once again. Okay, and this is the last one. Oh boy. The next day. Mailing, let's begin. Alright. Mailing no longer trembles in the Optron. She grips the handheld terminal so tightly that her knuckles turn white. The casualty list for this mission is laid out in detail in the center of the screen. The squad that stayed behind to guard the elm sustained relatively light injuries. Their frames can be repaired by replacing parts. Besides that, Hell's neuroclot suffered minor damage. That recovery will be performed during her next routine maintenance. Among field personnel, 404's losses and injuries were relatively minor. Day 5's losses were mainly ammunition and equipment. They said that they do a detailed list once they go back, so it's not itemized for now.
Melin pauses. She does her best to make her voice sound normal.
Lastly, the squad with the most severe losses, Team Grossa. Leader and Krolik are at 30% frame damage. They are currently in the repair pods awaiting repair. Lastly, we have Nemesis. Status missing.
The Upstrom sinks into silence. To be honest, I no longer remember much of what happened after that day.
Greg was the last one still outside with Nemesis. Doesn't sound like the other door. Why not? I mean, they were outside the door. The upper room door.
To be honest, I no longer remember much of what happened after that day. While waiting for rescue, the shock of the explosion gave me a mild concussion, and prolonged exposure to collapse radiation rendered me unconscious for some time. I'm told that we were rescued from the tower by 404 not long after the explosion. We discovered that the castle's entire courtyard area had been blown to smithereens. Team Gross and Squad 404 escorted Melanie and me back to the Elmo first, while Alvo, Mastina and Paretia stayed for some time near the castle, waiting for the 500 explosions that died down before making a preliminary assessment of the situation. According to the report, the several bits of those Paradeus dolls got mixed together after the explosion. They couldn't identify which of them was part of Nemesis' frame. Once they have some R&R, they will conduct another in-depth investigation of the area surrounding the old castle. We decided to put Nemesis as missing for now, at least until her frame can be conclusively confirmed destroyed.
So like Nemesis tossed Bunny out, locked the door and blew herself up. Yeah. I mean, I didn't get if she used the explosives that they had. Well, yeah, no, yeah, because Quandra says something like she hears the familiar sound of the explosives they had. Not necessarily the ones that had been set up by 404. So I guess they had more explosives on them. Never enough explosives. But you see they were at the tower. So I got a bit lost on the architecture, but like this leading through one door, and they were trying to get to the other door, but the other door was blocked. So then Nemesis just pushed everyone out, locked herself with the other dolls, blew herself up. From what I understood. How is Sexton doing, by the way? Is there still a chance for her to wake up?
Sexton's current condition is beyond what I can handle. So for now, I've handed her over to Miss Dandelion.
Let's just leave it to her then. Melik's understanding of Thirjan dolls is limited. All we can do is to wait and see if Dandelion can do anything. Still, we did bring back her frame, so there's always hope that she might wake up. After that, each squad that took part in the mission gave their own mission report. The documents Colner brought back from the castle rooms have been fully analyzed. We obtained some data on Arthur, and the same for a doll under the codename Juno.
Hold on, that's a new name. That's a new name, isn't it? Or am I misremembering? Why are we dropping a new name at the very last notice about Mika? Classic Mika things. I'm pretty sure this is a new name, but also it sounds familiar. It doesn't help that Juno is like, it's like a name, you know?
The contents indicate that both dolls had recently returned to their castle for frame maintenance. Although we don't know why they did so, it must have been connected to Sexton's rebirth ceremony. Perhaps Darter's abnormal behavior is actually connected to this chain of events. I also managed to confirm many things previously unknown through this mission. First, regarding Paradeo's activities. After I shot William dead, new individuals kept rising within Paradeus, taking over and attempting to continue the research he had conducted back then. Chiloville is not alone, and the Lave incident wasn't some aftershock from 10 years ago, but an entirely new probe attempt by Paradeus. Second, I initially thought that Tyrian dolls were merely employed by the conglomerate, but now it seems that things aren't that simple. The conglomerate and someone within Paradeus appear to jointly hold authority over them.
Tomasz, no spoilers mean no spoilers. I'm gonna have to time you out.
Perhaps the specifics will only become clear once Dandelion finishes dealing with Sexton's situation. Still, we know now that Paradeus and the conglomerate are fully in league with one another. We could even say that Paradeus is ambitious enough that they'd swallow the conglomerate whole if they could do it. You can tell from the degree of the Styrian doll's chokehold over the conglomerate that they've clearly been working on this plan for a long time. Lastly, regarding the Elena project, Melanie told me that the Elena designated H-35 as a test subject is currently heavily involved in Paradeus experiments. My failure to rescue her is my biggest regret. I was so close to her back in that one moment. But now that I think about it, what troubles me greatly is that strange feeling I had when I approached where she was. I remember feeling something like that back in Liv as well. There may be subtle differences between them, but I'm quite certain that it's the same kind of thing.
Commander? Commander? The meeting is over.
I lift my head. Only then do I realize that everyone in the ops room is staring at me. I wave my hand to let everyone leave, while I myself remain, sitting motionless in the chair.
Right. Preja, may I have a word with you? Sure.
After everyone gathers their documents and leaves the ops room, I gesture for Peridja to sit down beside me.
Surely you have much to ask me. Your thoughts are quite unsubtle. You're right, but I don't know where to even begin. Then why not start with the special abilities I displayed? That should be what you're most interested in, no?
Are you willing to talk about it? Then let's start there. We don't really have any other choice anyway.
Commander, if we're talking about choices, I have to say that you have so many choices and options in your hands that you always choose the path that leads toward the future. You are an incredibly kind person. I think that is probably why the world chose you.
Cat, please drop more lore. Trying to think. Trying to think back to what was the name of the event in Frontline 1 when everyone had like an arcana assigned to them. Cartesian. The word was Lunasia, wasn't it? I'm not just making shit up, right? Oh my god, what's your wisdom for today? The world chose me? Cartesian was something else, like, it was all over the place, but like in the best way. You know, it was very nonsensical, but like the lore went crazy. The world chose me?
That's right. It's exactly what you think it is. After all, though I'm the anchor point for her descent, even I'm still not qualified enough to know her name. But you are qualified to know everything. And thus, at this very moment, I sit here beside you.
It was M4, I think. Yeah, I can't remember if it was M4 or Lunasia or like, you know, because at the end also they kind of combine. It's crazy. Cartesian was crazy.
And thus, at this very moment, I sit here beside you.
I fell silent again, waiting for Peridia to speak.
I don't know why she chose me. Perhaps it's because my processing power is great enough to support her in weaving a dream. Perhaps it was coincidence. Or perhaps it was simply fate's arrangement. But in any case, she descended here, and upon leaving, she left behind a portion of her power. You already know that this is a power belonging to Nirvana.
So you were able to temporarily suppress Bujums because of...
I'm afraid that the me right now can no longer explain it to you well. What I can still say is that she does not permit Bujums to enter Nirvana. And that the power of Nirvana is also one of the few existences capable of completely annihilating a Bujum.
No wonder Paradeus will study such a thing. So, there are still many questions I want to ask, but Peridia shakes her head.
It's alright. There's no need to rush to understand the answers. If you wish to create a future, there must be something unknown to you. And precisely because of that, you can do what she cannot.
I was happy that Peridia's random backstory was finally used in a major event.
I don't know her backstory. What's her backstory?
I really need to go and read the dual archives.
I think it over for a long time, but in the end, I simply voiced my final request. Then could you Would it be possible to... Verita seems to know what I'm about to ask, and immediately shakes her head.
I exhausted all the power she left behind while dealing with the situation we faced. I can no longer sense her. Though I will probably become her eyes again, I'm afraid I won't be able to guide the power of Nirvana for a long time. Unless she wishes to change something through me once again. Sorry, Commander. I cannot help you convey your thoughts and feelings to her. But please believe that everything is fate's arrangement. Please don't worry. Because when she bid me farewell, she told me that in a future not so far away, due to certain events, the two of you will surely meet again. And when that time comes, it will be her seeking help from you.
Ominous? She hacked into a random server and it was a super advanced simulation of Rosa and the commander running around, and it was hinted to be being run by Lunasia. Ah, interesting.
Once that happens, she hopes that you, Commander, will hold her hand just as you did in the past.
As Verita says this, she grabs my hand, as though passing something on to me. The warmth from her palm somehow feels more familiar than how her hands themselves feel to me. The two of us stay silent for a long while. There's one more thing I want to ask. About Nemesis. What did she say at the end?
Ah, so it's about that.
Indeed. I actually wanted to ask Nemesis some questions directly just now, but...
I understand that you have some questions about her identity.
Not just her identity. There's also...
I understand. I don't know the specifics myself, but she's a good kid. At the very end, she said that she will hack into the narrow clouds of those Paradeus dolls, and through them, take control of the whole castle's wiring and circuitry. Everyone will be able to escape that way.
Was there anything else?
That was all of it. After all, things were quite urgent back then. Yeah? I know what you want to hear, but back then, she really didn't have time to say something like, I'll definitely come back alive to find you guys. But not saying it doesn't mean she won't do it. So, let's hold on to that feeling and pray for her together.
Man. Is this the parade event? Mother event? Either something, a Taraxis event, Ace45 event, or Sexton's event? Where is this a character event? Which character are we focusing on? So true, so real. Could even be a Nemesis event. Mika, what the fuck were you thinking making this a character event? The story really has character. Aha, I see. So that's what they meant. I believe the dusty memory in almost every is called the Rail of Bane. Alright. Go to the event, yeah. But I'm like, Mika, this should have been considered like part of the main story, you know, like the quote unquote Diet event, a Centaurus event. And therefore they should have been voiced. Not being voiced means that you don't consider it linked to the main story, and I'm just like, there's no fucking way. Mika's being Nirvana posting. Can't even trust the damn writers. This damn game. This filler be looking kinda important.
A week later, Dandelion calls me to the maintenance room, saying that Sexton's Neurocloud is showing signs of recovery. When I hurry over, I see Sexton is still inside the pod, barely maintaining the stability of her Neurocloud data through the link Dandelion established.
How is she? Oh my, her condition can only be described as super terrible. If she wasn't brought back in time, even the tiniest bit of her Neurocloud data might not have been saved. Archer's final shot landed right on her Neurocloud core. An absolutely destructive blow, no question. To be so ruthless toward her own elder sister. Looks like that child really does have a bright future ahead of her.
What? This is a filler event. They just didn't tell us that they are filling in the lore of, your random bullshit. Yeah. Everyone's sort of be like, wait, it's not main voice. Everyone, I need everyone to sort of be like, Mika, what?
Why on earth did she do it? Just to punish a traitor? Was there really a need to go that far? Don't underestimate a doll's sense of self. If someone achieves what you could not, jealousy will come naturally. Once such a heart of jealousy sprouts, grows, and ferments, it grows into an abomination that even the individual herself can't control. If we look at it that way, Virgin dolls are actually quite similar to humans. Commander, perhaps you too are being envied by someone at this very moment. Who will envy a wanted fugitive with an official URC bounty? All I can say is, you underestimate yourself far too much. Perhaps the reason for your bounty is the reason for someone's envy towards you.
Fear event offers up the box. It's a damn main story. Me, when I go read the filler event, and it has highly revealing lore. Okay.
For a moment, neither of us speaks. Finally, Dandelion turns her gaze back to Sexton's.
I said before that the Bujum Hub can't think rationally, only making instinctive reactions, didn't I? I have to retract that statement. Although Sexton's condition is dire, the Bujum within her body has become highly assimilated with her Neurocloud core, protecting her basic data from Darcher's bullet. I think this might be some kind of instinct. After a certain connection was severed, the Bujum within her changed in nature. It began to work solely for her sake. In any case, her Neurocloud core is now being sustained by the Bujum cells in its place, and it can only be repaired by those Bujum cells themselves. Still, thanks to Darcher, she's now completely free of their control. If the conglomerate, Paradeus, some Bujum or whatever dialed her up, they'll just get static. On the flip side, however, since she lost much of her Bujum cells, she can no longer display the full power of a Therian doll, even if it had a way to repair her frame. At most, she could perform at about the level of those twin dolls you captured in Makosh.
We capture them too?
I see.
We're fine even without those cells, and we're now in a position to prepare a better frame for her. Swapping frames won't work. I just said that her Neurocloud core is damaged, didn't I? Right now, her Neurocloud is basically being run by the Bujum Hub in its place, though there are large gaps when it comes to memory. Fortunately, we made a backup when we examined her before, so right now, I'm using that backup to restore as much of her memory as possible. As for how much can be restored, that will depend entirely on her own will. To sever the connection to the system you were born with, to no longer rely on anyone, to build a new self-consciousness by your own strength alone. It comes at an inevitable, bloody price.
Speaking from experience there, Dandelion.
All I can do is wish her good luck. By the way, doing all this cost me quite the time and effort. Who even remembers that I came here for a vacation?
Face. Thank you for your hard work.
What? I didn't quite catch that. You could say it a little louder. No, a little more generously.
Commander?
What terrible timing to wake up.
Oh my god, Dandelion is great. Plot twist Mother is Serma to returning for the other side. That'd be insane. With a full-on personality twist. Definitely not a filler like other character events. Yeah, no, it's... yeah. And whose fault is it but yours for being so loud?
Ignoring Dandelion's protesting, I walk up to the pod containing sextants and switch on my comms.
Sextants, how do you feel? I mean, I know you almost died, but how do you feel? I'm back. Yep, you're back on the Almo. I'm so sorry. It's alright. If you can't remember the past, so be it. From now on, you are a member of the Almo. That's the only thing you need to remember.
Oh, if only the commander would be so kind and gentle with me too.
I understand. And also, thank you, Miss Dandelion.
Huh? You noticed me? And here I thought I was quite discreet about it. But doesn't that mean your Neurocloud reconstruction was already going well enough? Well enough for you to perceive my presence. Looks like you're gonna start ordering her missing parts, Commander. You won't have to throw her in recycling as per your plans.
Dandelion?
This joke wasn't all that inappropriate for the timing, was it?
Since you brought it up yourself, help me order the parts on the black market.
Order received.
Dandelion's projection goes dark. Only Sextants and I remain in the maintenance room. But I don't know what I should say.
Why don't you just get some proper rest for now? Ma'am. What's wrong?
I press myself against the comms device, trying to make out Sextant's voice.
You believed in me. And when you faced such a creature, you dared to use your human body to... Yes, I believe in you. Even though I cannot be loyal. I understand what you mean, Sextants. A daughter who possesses full authority over herself cannot pledge loyalty to anyone through the form of a code imprint. Those two things are mutually contradictory. But it also means we can try trusting each other. Just like everyone else aboard the Alma. But, my lady, I cannot serve you at my
original strength, I am already useless. I give you a higher rating than you'd give yourself. You didn't justify your own creator, you even defied the fate she imposed upon you. And what's more, you successfully mastered the Bujum cells within your body. You proved to us that a Thirjan doll is capable of changing her own fate. And it's also because of you that the mask of that woman was pierced, letting me know who I should be bringing down from now on. My lady. Your life may have been relatively simple and straightforward in the past. They give the orders, you carry them out. No need to question, no need to think. But from now on, you may have to deliberate on matters far more complicated. You must rely on the choices made by your heart. You must now start learning about this world the same way a human infant does. You won't know that fire is hot until you touch it. You won't realize that a path has ended until you walk into a wall. This process will be quite painful. Perhaps you'll also go through struggles, doubts, soul-searching, and rebellion. But through this, you will discover a road never walked before, one that truly belongs to you. Of course, my understanding of doll technology is quite shallow. But I think that's more or less how the principle goes. Wait, there was a line that I liked. But I think that's more or less how the principle goes. You seem to be talking about a certain someone. No, I am not.
I give Sexton a smile.
So, right now, the you of the present is the best version of yourself. Rest well. I'll be waiting for you. As you command, my master.
I really like that she uses polite language. Like, you know, she says my lady, my master. It just really adds to her whole persona. Oh hey, we're back to Darchur.
Darchur had not anticipated that she would wake up so soon. Also, she still remembers what happened in that castle at the end. She killed Sextans with her own 2 hands. Upon realizing this, Darchur shudders. It means that her nether cloud is still perfectly intact. This seems like a deliberate punishment. Darchur hurriedly shuts her eyes.
Pretending to be asleep won't work, my child. Mama.
Darchur tries to sit up, but she finds herself tied into a cold machine. The power is destroyed by that second-gen doll, as reckless and brutish as an old heavy-duty excavator. Had all been removed, exposing clumps of tissue and densely packed wiring within, along with a large number of newly replaced models. She had been repaired, yet Darchur's heart is filled with despair, because she did not want to appear before Mother like this.
Damn it. That doll is nothing but an old relic from many years ago.
Hatred towards the enemy flashed through Darchur's narrow cloud for only an instant. That thought was quickly replaced by fear.
Is there anything else you wish to say? Mother, I was being stubborn. I did something you did not tell me to do. But even so, Mother still gently repaired me. Is it because I have been forgiven? The commander. She wanted the prototype, severed the connection with H-35, and dug Sextons out. Having witnessed all of this up close, surely you must have also seen the power behind those actions. Come, tell me everything you know. All of it. I didn't see it. I see. I seem to have gotten my hopes up too high.
Hearing Mother sigh, Darcher feels despair and grief surging against her crumbling narrow cloud like a raging tide. Clear liquid wells up from the corners of her eyes.
Oh shit, she's crying!
I'm sorry.
Shh. She can no longer make a sound. It is obvious. Mother does not want to hear her excuses.
Don't worry. I'm not angry with you. You have been a delicate child from the very beginning, Darcher. You have always been more sentimental compared to your sisters, and more greedy for emotional comfort and reassurance.
Darcher struggles to look toward her, trying to evaporate the tears pooling at her eyes. A scene from the past appears before her. Mother, supporting Sextons, walking forward step by step. She was the first Thirjan doll among them to be completed, assembled just a little earlier than her. Even so, Sexton received the most of Mother's love, or perhaps even her only offering of love.
Oh no, she's the first child.
Mother seems to treat Sextons as a prototype, as though she were a human girl, treating her as one would a daughter, though it was only for a dozen or so hours. Although she was probably only trying to test the effect of maternal love on a Thirjan doll's narrow cloud, and the bullion within her during her growth period. Those dozen or so hours were recorded in the narrow cloud of Darcher, who watched from the side. She watched how Mother carefully supported Sextons, how she gently taught her to understand the world, how she sang her a lullaby while she slept. Before she even understood who she herself was, Darcher came to know jealousy.
If it were me, I will absolutely never betray. At least that traitor is already. Still, the next time you meet Sextons, bring her back as intact as possible. I'm very curious about the current state of her heart. I want to know if its nature has already changed. Mother, why would you still want that traitor? And besides, she's already been. You seem certain that you have destroyed her narrow cloud. By design, if her narrow cloud had truly been completely annihilated, the Bujum heart within her body will immediately take over the narrow cloud's functions and control the frame, keeping her permanently fixed in another form. But that did not happen, did it? But I... The Bujum heart can connect into the computing process of the narrow cloud like a biological nerve, enhancing processing capacity to an extreme degree. As of now, I have only partially realized this function in Cocoon. Since it is tightly fused with the narrow cloud core, and since Bujum cells are capable of performing functions nearly as complex as what a brain can do, repairs to narrow cloud core processes, which are normally impossible, could potentially succeed. Of course, the potential chance to succeed is very low, but since she is now connected to that commander, it is best not to trust such probabilities, no matter how low they might be. This is not superstition, but my conclusion as a researcher. You will see Sextons again. Would you back up? She will appear before me again?
Darcher looked at Mother in shame. She had caused her so much trouble, yet couldn't seem to do anything right. For an instant, Darcher feels that perhaps she does not deserve any kind of comforting at all. But Mother walks over and strokes her head at that very moment. A gentle voice can be heard, singing that familiar, sweet song, a song that had never belonged to Darcher.
Go to sleep, my precious child. Rest in your cradle, warm and cozy.
Oh, she's singing again.
Every beautiful blessing, every happiness in this world, all of it belongs to you.
The archer closes her eyes in bliss. Although she knows that Mother did not sing out of love, she has never felt so content in her entire life. Then, boundless silence devours the archer, sinking her consciousness into a deep void. Mother stares with satisfaction at the transparent jar on the table, labeled STR018247. That's Sexton's, isn't it? Yeah.
I think this series has so many parental issues, it keeps triggering my Warhammer thoughts. It's a series with daddy issues all the way down. I mean, so true. Wouldn't be surprised if there's inspiration from there as well.
A faintly scoring polymer mass lies inside it, shimmering with a dazzling light. Those were the Bouillon cells once active within Sexton's body, originating from the Bouillon prototype she used to grow all Thyrgian dolls. Nourished by a doll's neurocloud and energy, it has now taken on properties and radiation wavelengths entirely different from Sexton's Bouillon other half. They had been excised by some kind of power, completely unholy. And what's more, they had been killed. This is her first time seeing a Bouillon truly die. Completely destroying Bouillon cells requires only high temperatures, but that is only a method to physically destroy them. Even she had never obtained a Bouillon this intact. A Bouillon that had ceased all biological activity too.
Back then, she shouldn't have been carrying any weapons or methods unknown to me, or things I've never deployed within the laboratory. Even if the prototype can recover, the connection to that girl has likely been permanently severed. And in time, the growth progress the prototype had achieved will also decline.
The Sextons of present had become a doll not created by her. She had thoroughly attained freedom, and perhaps, in a certain way, became an entirely new individual.
So you are capable of even such things, Commander. Fate truly does favor you very much. No, this is love. You truly are our most fearsome opponent.
Oh, meanwhile... Holding her by a knife. You love to see it. We're getting all the closing scenes from like everyone.
Task Force T5. Contact attempt 7893. Requesting connection. Connection established. Mona? Why are you the one answering the call?
Mona!
A certain secretary has entered a period of radio silence for the sake of the upcoming big move. So the duty of communicating with you is now mine to take over. Alba, I read the log for this mission. Violent as ever, I see. Well, with Mastina around, that sort of thing is pretty much unavoidable.
I'm on this comms channel too. Yo, Mona sounds more extroverted now. That's fun.
Then take it as a compliment. It's a compliment from a security doll, you know? That carries real weight. Besides, there really wasn't any other option at the time. Thank you for understanding. Regarding the recent mission, did the organization have any feedback? Of course, I'm not rushing you. But this discovery is critical. I believe it can serve as direct evidence that Paradeus has completely revived, and in fact, it is integrating itself into a larger, much more terrifying existence. I understand you, but... it seems the higher-ups have something they're way more concerned about. Something they're more concerned about? But... what could matter more than tracking down? I know, Alba, but this is what they want. I'm aware that it will pose problems for those who work on the front lines like you. But acting in accordance with orders handed down from above is precisely our duty. Alright. Then where are the orders from above? Continue the recon mission. Keep monitoring for any abnormal electromagnetic pulses. Doesn't really seem any different from before. Also, maintain contact with the commander and when necessary, relay information about the Elmo back to the organization.
Alba waits for a moment, but no further reply can be heard from the comms.
That's all? That's all. Does that mean the commander is already safe? Well, it's at least a positive sign, isn't it? Alright. Although this doesn't seem any different from what we were already doing. We'll keep up our work, since that's how the higher-ups want it. In any case, safety first. You too.
The call ends.
Okay. Who actually has good family relations in all of Mika's work? I'll get back to you on that one. Dear and Silly, I guess. Yeah. Diane and Yang Yu, I mean, they did have their issues, but yeah, now they're pretty tight. Persic and the air team. Oh yeah, Scar, one of the Scar sisters should be with them. The guy who saved the kid school bus, yeah, true. Somehow this event keeps getting better until the very end. Filler event, by the way.
The Elmo travels onwards through the boundless desert like it always does.
Come in.
Commander.
What's wrong? Have you visited Elena?
Yeah. Elena, she woke up for a little bit just now. I told her about everything we went through recently.
Was she able to understand it?
More or less. Although Helena doesn't seem to fully understand it, she understands more than I expected.
That is a pretty impressive improvement.
But Elena did tell me that while she was asleep, she also dreamed of the girl we weren't able to save. I don't know why, but her ability to sense that girl seems especially strong. And she also said that the girl once informed Elena of her name.
That girl? I remember she was called H35, wasn't she?
No, not a designation like H35 or D68. It's a name, like a human name. A name just like the Melanie you gave me.
I pause what I'm working on and look toward Melanie.
Did she say what her name was?
Elena says she forgot. No, that's not right. What she said was, that's something she shouldn't remember.
Shouldn't remember? I found this phrasing strange, yet it carries something that feels familiar.
Commander, that girl seems somewhat different from us. I keep getting the feeling that she doesn't belong here.
Melanie's scattered utterance clearly brought a certain idea in my mind into focus. If that memory existing only in my mind truly did happen, If the possibilities that Nirvana showed me really do exist, then at the other side of the world, those who are pulled by the thread of fate, could a reunion be possible?
Oh my god!
Do you think this means we still have a chance to save that girl? After all, Elena can still sense her, even now.
We definitely will. If my conjecture is true, then she must still be alive somewhere in this world.
Commander, I'm so sorry. It was only after going through this whole ordeal that I realized I've been talking about things that are really hard to achieve. I always had saving all the Elenas as my goal, but in the end, even just trying to save age 35 was so difficult. But if I don't do it, more and more children will be trapped in the kind of suffering I went through before.
Melanie. You won't grow taller if you keep letting your mind run wild.
Won't grow taller?
Although you and Elena share the same genes, I remember when we measured your heights last time, she was already 1 centimeter taller than you.
How is that possible? I drank my milk properly too.
Because Elena's been sleeping more, probably. Melanie clenches her fists, looking at me in a huff, only to find an irrepressible smile spreading across my face.
Commander, I knew it! You are lying!
I'm not. It's true. If you don't believe me, go ask Mailing.
I'll go ask Mailing in a short while.
If you don't want to lose to Elena, then don't keep dwelling on such things. Melanie, your priorities are to eat well and sleep well. Then, grow taller and bigger as soon as you can. Only then will you become strong enough to fight the bad guys who do evil and save all the Helenas. Wouldn't you agree?
I see.
Alright, now go and get ready for food. I remember that the menu today's got stuff you really like. Fried chicken and pizza.
Okay, I'll go right now.
Melanie waves goodbye to me and jogs out of the Optron. A collapsed storm had just passed. The long absent blue sky reappears over the yellow zone. Sunlight shines down upon this desolated land, day after day, as though nothing had ever changed. But some things do indeed quietly change. For instance, I finally decided to stop fixating on the chaotic past, to stop worrying over predicaments that had not yet happened, to stop excessively dwelling on the manipulations and maneuvers of powerful figures. I finally decided to take a probing step forward toward the future. I know not of how far I can go up this mountain, but at the very least, if I must fall, I shall try for my remains to lay near the summit.
Damn!
Perhaps, or maybe not due to the change in my state of mind, I noticed that outside the Alma's window, in the ever-enchanting desert, something I've never seen before has appeared. A purple plant sways freely in the breeze, at the far end of my vision. As the Elmo gradually moves forward, I suddenly realized that it wasn't a plant. I rub my eyes. Nemesis?
Are you fucking kidding me? It ends there. Commander dropping bars. Oh yeah. Another peak quote. Nemesis Gnosis. Did this even imply Orphalon came back from Nirvana into one of the Elena bodies after having jumped off the edge with the crazy Needle girl? Yes! Yes! It did just imply that! Yes, it did! Pulled the full AR-15 and came back with a Mod 3. Yeah, the only way to make it even more AR-15 would have been if she had waited like 2 or 3 events before showing up again. We are quoting Girls Frontline now, hell yeah! Everyone should quote Girls Frontline. Sometimes, have you seen on Twitter, guys, there's those accounts that like post quotes from like games or songs or moves or whatever. Sometimes I feel the need to like make one with Mika quotes and just wait to see how many people actually realize that it comes from a fucking gacha game. Or submit to. Sometimes you can submit quotes. That's how you don't want to upgrade to an AR-15. Yeah, you gotta blow yourself up first. I'm like, man, some of these quotes, some of these lines, holy fuck. Okay, let's get back here. God damn. God damn. Yeah, have a good list of screenshots already. Sometimes I think about it, just make like... just for the fancies, you know, make like... video game quotes. But just because also like, sometimes I'm also playing other games and there's also like fire quotes, and I'm like, damn. A lot happened in like 3 months of Girls Online. Yeah, I mean, the issue is that there were like 2 major events. You mad, bro? Fuck the loss of robotics. Yo, that was actually fire. I remember that scene. That was so good. But yeah, this is a filler event apparently. Yeah, let's just ignore all the lore drops. And important character reveals. You know, just a filler event, nothing important. Nothing crucial to the main story. All killer, no filler. While watching Miami Vice with my abuela. That's so funny. I don't want my frame be overlapped by perverted homosexual chile. I had forgotten about that one. Girls Running 1 filler event. Tag 50 mind breaks an actress. Girls Running 2 filler event. Progressing the plot. They've done it like 3 times already, but at least, you know, the first 2 times they recognize it. And also, it was also because of rewrites, because, you know, they had to rewrite the Dayan event, so then they had to rewrite the Center Race event and all that. But like, what's your excuse here, Mika? What is your excuse here, Mika? Making full use of Girls Running 1 with this one. Bro, they even deployed like Scarlet. I can't remember the exact name of the song, but you know, it's from that. It's from the Scar Sisters event. That song is fire. I was like, I can't believe they're using this song. It's like, what the fuck? How dare you? Didn't you say this was a filler, Mika? Like, what the fuck? I always wonder if time and space basically does not matter. Nirvana has your footage in all these characters randomly walking around in the background before she comes back each time. That would be low-key funny. And yeah, I kind of imagine that's how it works. I do love how Mika uses music very well to bring back specific event emotions. Yeah. We're Pavlov trained with music. But man, that was great. I can't believe they made the prelude for the next major a filler, an unvoiced character event. This was barely about sex dance. My Togashi became bored in the helicopter music team now. Yeah. We got so many reveals, man. Like, I still think they could have given more weight to the Sextans. To Sextan's character, you know, give it a bit more build up. To make like all those scenes in which, you know, you think she's dead be actually be more emotionally impactful. But other than that, you know, 10 out of 10. Everything else, 10 out of 10. This event was great. It should have been boys. Mika, what the fuck? Yeah, no, I like the personality they gave her. But that's exactly the thing also, because the last time we saw her in Exilium, by the way, so like a whole year ago, she shows up and she's basically like she was like a robot. She didn't have like personality or emotions. She was just following commands because they said like something they hadn't been able to like fully repair her neural cloud. And now they just were like, oh yeah, by the way, she has been living on the Elmo this entire time. Like through all these events, you know. The Leave incident. What do you mean Sexton was just like chilling around the Elmo during the Leave incident? Like what? So, you know, that was kind of, so, you know, all this bond that Sextans had with the commander, they give you like the background of it through things that she says. But, you know, as a player, you jumping into this event, it kind of comes out of nowhere. I mean, like, I was just like, since when are we so close with Sextans? Since when does she trust us so much that she's willing to like sacrifice herself to not be a danger for us? Like, you know, she explains it, and it makes sense from an emotional point of view. But like, I could not feel the emotions because I was not there. I did not leave it. She was in a spring and racy cafe made health training camp and couldn't make it to leave. Imagine she had been mailing Bolivar during Mokosh, seeing mailing struggling with the commanders trying to get rid of her and starting to doubt her own place as a result. Yeah, you know, and the whole also, you know, the whole battle with the other two Thirjan dolls that were also sort of rejects. You know, they had so many chances to actually make a very strong build up to this event without having to give her like a strong focus. You know, it could have just been like a few scenes here and there. And her growth reinforces the whole on liberty type themes and also defies emotional maturing, but also the whole she's been awake for a while and hanging out actually is funny. Yeah, you know, that's the thing, is like, you know, the character we were presented now, how she is now, it's great. I love her. She might have gone up the ranks to be one of my faves now, and which makes me really sad because I'm broke and I can't roll for her. Next time she will be mine, and I will give her a ring. She will get a ring. But I'm just like, the writing itself, the event itself, you know, all those scenes would have hit much more harder if we had actually seen her initial struggle to like get along, like find her place in the Elmo. And as I've been saying, that could have been, it didn't have to have been a main focus. It could have just been like through little scenes here and there. Because, you know, if she's been in the Elmo all this time, whenever we're in the Elmo, she could have shown up maybe with the others, you know, like, and show her like being a little bit awkward, and also everyone else being a little bit awkward with her because, you know, they would kind of try to kill each other. And just, you know, slowly build until now this event. Yeah, and this event just reminded me that the twins are also captured on Amor de Elmo, I guess. So I guess we'll also get some event at some point about them, perhaps. We also have Blue Sphere. Imagine that meme with a guy in the corner as sex sense. They don't know I'm a Sturgeon doll, well, corpus and anti-parallel done 4 years in progress. They don't know I'm here too. Hi, Jared. Yeah, I do wonder what Mika's original plan was with her up to now, because, you know, as much as I love this writing of the personality we saw of her now, I know from Gears Throne 1 that Mika is way too good at using all plot elements, or like hinting at stuff that only becomes relevant like 5 events afterwards, to think that they just botched this. It really feels like, oh, we should give like a proper characterization to Sex Sense. What do we do? Oh, let's just say that she was on the Elmo all this time. Oh, okay, sure. So, like, you know, I hope I just talk here. Hopefully I'll remember to fill the survey and put it in. But like, I don't know what other people think. I think most people will be focused more on the fact that this should have been a main event. More than on Sexton's character. But, you know, I hope some people mention it. And they listen to the feedback so they don't do the same with the two others that we have. She was playing Bloodborne all this time. Oh, that explains the new look. It could have even been through like other characters' event, you know. Just have like little scenes of like, oh yeah, by the way, Sextant is here, which is operational now. You know, we're still sort of keeping an eye on her. It's still funny to me. She's now the pink hair guy, like a twig. He deserved it. That guy was so funny. He was so cartoon villain. But yeah, I am in love with Sextans now. So whenever I get her, ring. Yes, that's my wife, guys. But anyway, I really should get going. My sister should finish work in a second, and I'll see if I can get some chores in before going to get her. And yeah, I am hyped for Card Redundancy. Very excited for what's to come, but also still, once again, Mika, what the fuck? How do you make this a character event? But anyway, next weekend, Card Redundancy. During the week, probably Reverse, because there's a new main story chapter. Reverse 1999. But for now, thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed. Yaoi having sex ringers. Yes, it is I. But anyway, remember to stay safe, stay hydrated, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time. So bye bye.